Hey friends, Amanda here at Bare Bones Living. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I would love for you to join in on our journey. Please remember to like this video if you do enjoy the content, and please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss anything that we put out, any videos that we put out. But today what I'm going to be doing is sharing with you another seed haul. And I was not planning on doing this this year, but I am doing all container gardening this year, basically all container gardening. Some things that have like a shorter date to harvest I am going to be planting in my patio garden, but mostly everything is going to be in containers because I do plan on moving this year and I want to be able to take my stuff with me. So things like radishes and peas and some short day onions, those are the things that I'll be planting in my garden. But everything else that takes longer than like 60 days I'm planting in containers. And what I had realized is that I didn't have any determinate tomatoes. I shouldn't say I didn't have any determinate tomatoes. I only had Roma tomatoes. And while I love Roma tomatoes and I grow them every year, I also like variety. So, and I'm still holding out hope that I can grow some of my tried and true indeterminate tomatoes, but start them in a grow bag and be able to move and transplant them into an actual garden that has support that I can, you know, trellis on in time. And tomatoes are fairly forgiving, so, but either way I still needed more determinate tomatoes to grow in my containers. And if you don't know the difference, a determinate tomato is one that it's a plant that grows to a determined height. It will only grow so high and it will only give off so many fruit. So a Roma tomato is one that most people know, and it will only grow so high. And you can, you know, the Roma tomatoes are good for a paste tomato or a salad tomato or a saladette size type. But that was the only one that I had. An indeterminate tomato is one that needs support, needs trellising, one that you can't use a tomato cage for. And that, an indeterminate, means it grows to an indeterminate height. It will continue to grow as long as you continue to support it. Or if you let it grow along the ground, it will just continue to grow along the ground. But then predators and, you know, like rabbits, and I guess a rabbit's not exactly a predator, but things will eat your fruit if you let it grow along the ground, but a tomato will do that. So an indeterminate will continue to grow as long as you support it, and it will continue to fruit and provide fruit for you up until the frost kills it. And that's basically all that I grow is indeterminate. So I went on to MIGardener, and as with everything else in our society these days, the price of MIGardener has also gone up. MIGardener used to be 99 cents a package. Now he is $1.99. I have my order sheet here. Does it say price on here? I don't think it does. I think it was like $1.98 or $1.99 or something like that a package, which is still a great deal, still cheaper than a lot of things that you'll buy at the big box store. I mean, I don't I don't have anything bad to say about him for going up in price, but just something that I did notice as someone who has been shopping with MIGardener for a couple of years. The price did go up there. But I went and I found that it was actually kind of hard to go to seed companies and just search a determinate tomato. And if you know seed companies, every seed company has like a million tomato varieties. So this wasn't exactly the easiest thing to find. And some of the things I was surprised because they had advertised, I can't remember on MIGardener what it was called, but it was, the name of it had the word bush in it. And to me, a bush, any kind of bush variety is something that can be grown in a pot, or it's something that is a determinate variety. Like a bush bean is only going to grow up so big. It's not a pole bean like a tomato that you need to trellis. They had a bush, something or other bush tomato, and it was in, like, even on their picture or whatever, it was in a pot, but it was an indeterminate tomato, and I was like, well, that doesn't seem right. That's misleading. And then a lot of what MIGardener offers is semi-determinate tomatoes. So like this is a semi-determinate tomato, and this is a Rutgers tomato. A bright red, perfectly round variety, perfect for salads, burgers, and sauces. One of the most versatile tomatoes, great for southern and northern growers. And it's 70 days to maturity. So it's a fairly quick producing, a semi-determinate, so I'm going to grow it in a pot. I'm going to use a tomato cage and hope that it doesn't grow so big in the tomato cage that it topples over, but this is one of the ones that I chose, and the fruit gets about 7 ounces. So this one I thought would be like a nice burger tomato. It's not like a big beefsteak or anything, but it's a nice, like a delicate sandwich tomato. So I'm excited to try that one. I got a lot of tomatoes. These are mostly tomatoes. Then this Rio Grande is another semi, oh no, this one says semi-indeterminate. So this one said semi-determinate. This one says semi-indeterminate. I don't know what the difference is between a semi-determinate or a semi-indeterminate. That kind of sounds like the same thing to me. But this is a small slicer, it says, and a slicer is like a sandwich, burger, things like that. It looks in the picture to be a fairly decent size, and that's an 80-day variety. This is an actual determinate tomato, the Floridad tomato, and it is good for hot temperatures. We plan on moving from here in Chicago, which we have hot summers and cold winters. We're not like a moderate temperature area. We plan on moving to Tennessee, which is a more milder climate. So, and I think it will be more humid. Actually, Chicago is very humid, but I thought that would be nice to have something that would tolerate more heat, or maybe more, because we get really hot, but we don't stay really hot. So something that can last longer in the heat area. This cream sausage tomato, I don't think that sounds very good. I would say marketing is not great on that. But this one is actually marketed as a container friendly. None of the rest of these have been marked as container friendly, even though this one is a determinate. It is not marked as container friendly. But this is like a salad. My buying this, I was thinking to myself this would be great as like a plum tomato in a salad. And it's plum sized yellow tomatoes, so yellow tomatoes are more mild. And this is an 80-day variety. These champagne bubbles, this is very much not a determinant. This is an indeterminate, and I knew it was. But while I was shopping for my determinants, I've always wanted to try these champagne bubbles. It just sounds good. I like champagne, so it sounds like something that would be good. And it's a champagne colored mini cherry tomato, one of the sweetest on the market, and it says it's disease resistant and heat tolerant. So even though I'm hoping, again, like I am going to plant this and hope that I can plant it in its forever home in a garden in our forever homestead soon, but we'll see what happens. This is another indeterminate, but it's called a dwarf indeterminate. Again, I don't know what that means. But it's a New Zealand heirloom. Dwarf variety will grow some of the largest fruits possible for such a small plant at only 2 to 3 feet tall. So why I don't get how it's an indeterminate. Okay. But it has a deliciously sweet in flavor with deep red flesh. So I don't know exactly why I got this one, but that's another one to try. So once I started going through all the tomatoes, and since like I said, it was hard for me just to like narrow it down to determinate tomatoes, I started seeing all these things that I wanted to try. So a lot of the next ones, I think there's only like 5 determinate tomatoes in here, and the rest of the tomatoes are indeterminates that I just wanted to try. This next one is called the Mexico Midget tomato, also an indeterminate. This again says it's a dwarf variety for small spaces or container growers. Again, I don't know how you can have an indeterminate that is I don't know. I mean, I guess you could still support it in a pot, but it's just not as easy. I don't know. But it's a dark fruit with robust tomato flavor. And it says delicious in salads, soups, and sauces. I think it's a cherry tomato. It looks like a cherry tomato to me. This is a 60 to 70 day variety, which is pretty fast. And Mexico Midget is the name of it, so I have to assume it is a cherry tomato. You don't really hear much about cherry tomatoes being good for sauces. I use my cherry tomatoes for sauces because they're sweeter, and so they give you a sweeter sauce, and I like a sweeter sauce. You just don't hear it marketed that way very often. The next one I have is a Gobstopper Tomato, another indeterminate, and this is an early yellow cherry tomato with greenish flesh, and it is split resistant, which your tomatoes split when they get too much water in them too fast. And that can happen to cherry tomatoes pretty easily, so that was a good selling point on that. This next one is the Black Prince tomato, another indeterminate. And this is a medium slicer tomato. And it's a smoky, sweet, low acid flavor, which sounded pretty interesting. And if you look at it, it's kind of like a smoky, like the color of it even looks like it's a little smoky. The picture's kind of pixelated, but it's kind of got like this purpley brown red flesh, so that looks kind of smoky to me. My actual favorite tomato of last year was my Brandywine tomato. I just thought it was, I loved that plant. It produced giant tomatoes. They were super sweet. And they were really prolific. So I got a black Brandywine, also an indeterminate, just because I wanted to try it and I like the different colors. I got a purple tomatilla. I grew purple tomatillas last year and I preserved salsa verde for the first time. And I tried growing tomatillas the year before. There's only like 50 seeds in here, and I do a plant sale every year, and so I sold some. And the first year I tried, so 2 years ago now, I only had one tomatilla survive, and I planted that tomatilla, but then I found out that tomatillas need to have two because they need to cross-pollinate. So I had a sterile, big, gigantic, beautiful tomatillo that never produced any fruit because I didn't know any better. But then last year I grew the rest of my seeds, and I had like 4 or 5 tomatilla plants last year, and they produced a lot of tomatillos. So I needed to get more of that. I have not yet tried the salsa verde. I think I'm actually going to make that this week. It's on my list of things to make this week. So I can get back to you on that. This is called the Tigerella tomato, also an indeterminate, but I really loved that it was orange striped. My favorite color is orange. And this is a 55 to 65 day to maturity. And this is a tangy bite-sized fruit. So that's interesting, and I want to try that. It says that it's disease resistant and grows well in greenhouses. The thing about growing in greenhouses is there's not as many pollinators that usually can get into a greenhouse. So that's interesting. It must self-pollinate easily. Then this one is called the green zebra tomato. All these next ones are striped. That's funny. And they're all different colors. So this one's a green zebra. It looks real cool. Another indeterminate. And this one says it's a sweet, rich, and tangy flavor. So this one, again, is another indeterminate that I got just because it looks cool and I want to try it. Then this one is called the Chocolate Stripes, another indeterminate. And native to Peru, dark mahogany red tomato with olive green stripes produce rich, sweet, earthy fruits. Salad and sandwich slicer, but another cool looking one. This Sunray, I think, is... Oh, no, this is an indeterminate. I thought this was a determinate. Okay. Another indeterminate. And this is just a golden orange variety. One of the sweetest yellow tomatoes we've tried. Produces prolifically all season long. Heat and drought tolerant. Perfect for salads, slicing, and adding to sauces. So I just thought that was a beautiful orange tomato. And I love orange. So those are all my tomatoes. Then my oldest son, Hunter, loves peas and eating the pea pods. So snap peas, snow peas, things like that. That's like his favorite snack outside. And anytime you can get a toddler to eat greens, you do all the greens that you can get, right? So I got these Mammoth melting snow peas, and I actually planted these out in my garden already, but I have had crazy pest pressure with, I actually had a bunny make a nest in my patio garden, and we had to relocate said nest because one, she ate all of my peas that were out there. I had snap peas growing and some little bush peas that she ate the tops right off of. So I don't think any of these are going to come up, so I'm going to replant these. And then these Lincoln peas, I think it says that they were better in the fall. Yeah, it says why I thought that this was better in the fall, because I'm not seeing it on here. But I chose not to plant these. Also, they take 80 to 90 days, and they need trellising. Both of these need trellising or support. So I'm just going to grow these as fall peas, so that I can actually try them. And because if I planted these now and we move in June or something like that, I won't be able to try them. I think that's why. These ones are 45 to 55 days. These ones we will get to try. So these I'll plant in fall. So I got those two, and then I got just some Italian large leaf basil because I was all out. This, of course, is container friendly. I have so much basil already growing, so I don't think I'm going to be starting any of this right now, but I just wanted to restock. And then this is also new to MIGardener. I have bought seeds from them for the past 3 years, and I've never gotten a free seed packet. And I've bought fairly large, this, I can't remember how much I spent, but it's a fairly large order. And like if you order from Baker Creek, they will send you a free seed packet for every, I think, like $30 that you spend, or don't quote me on that exactly, but for every certain dollar amount, they will send you a free seed packet. And MIGardener's never done that before. But they sent me a free seed packet this time, and this is a salad bowl mix variety. So I love growing greens. I'm not going to be planting this year, I don't think. Maybe in fall or something like that, but I just thought that that was cool and something new that they have not done before. So at the increased price point, it was nice to see that there was something extra hidden in there that I hadn't anticipated, and I will take the seeds. I will appreciate the seeds. So this is just, you know, you get bit by the seed bug. Last year I didn't buy any seeds, and this year I got the Baker Creek, and I got that celery I got from Hudson Valley Seed Company, and then the MIGardener. I allowed myself to buy seeds this year since I didn't buy seeds last year, and since I'm trying to do the container gardening, I needed tomatoes that I could grow. And even though I only have, what was that, like 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think 4 determinate varieties that I bought. These other ones are just fun for me, and hopefully I'll get to try them sooner rather than later. But that is all that I have for today. We're at April 6th here, and my last frost date is April 20th, 4/20. I don't plant my tomatoes here in Chicago until Mother's Day weekend, but I have not started any of my tomato seeds or my pepper seeds. I'm way behind on my peppers, so those are going to be kind of squirty when they go out, but the tomatoes will be fine by the time I actually want to plant them. They'll be 6 to 8 weeks, no problem. The tomatoes might be a little squirty when it's time for them to go out, but I'm not planting that many peppers this year because I got a lot of peppers last year, and I'm really the only one that eats peppers in my family. So, but I do a plant sale, so I do want to start some peppers to sell. But that's all I have for now, and next you guys will be seeing me planting some of these seeds up because I gotta get on this. I am behind, guys. But thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, again, please give it a like, and definitely subscribe and hit that notification button. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for stopping by today and joining in on our journey here at Bare Bones Living. We'll catch you on the next one.